Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to a special edition of the War Zone. Get on the phone and call somebody because I need your help tonight. Man, you know who I am. I am the five-star general. It's time to crank the campaign up. And tonight we're having a virtual fundraiser. So I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me what you want done. I am trying to win the state rep race for House District 131. And tonight we crank it up. Let's go. No matter what we raise, is more than what we got. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. You know, without you guys, I would not have a show. And I am really appreciative of you taking the time out to tune in to me on a nightly basis. Let me check something. I really want to make sure that we are good. Okay, here we go. Done. Okay. All right, let's check this here. All right. How you guys doing? I'm great. I'm up in St. Louis, Missouri. My last day in St. Louis, and in the morning I get to hop a plane, and I'm heading on over to Minneapolis. I got some work to do. Work with some good community members and some people, and it is what it is. But today is, I guess you would call it, the first official day of us cranking up the campaign. I'm running for state rep in House District 131. I'm running against Alma Allen, who's been a staple in the Texas legislation, and that's why we can't get nothing done. But tonight we're doing what I call a virtual fundraiser. That means that I am here to try to raise money for my campaign. So what we're going to do, just bear with me for a second. I'm setting some things up real quick. So we're going to go putting the information in for you to be able to donate if you choose to. And we're going to go from there. Hold on a second. Y'all bear with me. Okay. Let's go here, see what it says. Okay. Okay. All right. I messed up. Well, tonight we're going to raise money. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to try to raise as much as we can raise to help me in my campaign. For my run for state rep. Now, one thing I can't do is I can't ask you to give money to help me if I don't help myself. I can't do that. So I will tell you this. You guys bear with me for a second. I'm putting in the information that you're going to need. Hold on a second. I'm trying to make sure you got exactly what you need, and then we're going to get into it. But what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking of questions that you can ask me. Questions so you can get answers to your questions. No other candidate or politician is going to do this. They're not going to set themselves up to be able to be scrutinized by you guys. I can tell you that from a real life standpoint. Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Okay. Okay, that's what it is. They're not going to set themselves up to have to answer questions as a candidate because they can't. Okay, there we go. There we go. I got it in there. So tonight we're gonna raise money. I'm gonna talk about the issues. I'm gonna tell you what I plan on doing, and from there, it's totally up to you. You can donate $5. You can donate $25. You can donate $100. You can donate $5,000. Whatever you choose to donate. But I can't ask you to donate to my campaign if I don't put money into my own campaign. So when I did this for school board, I started the night off with $100. Nah, I got to raise a lot of money. So I'm going to start tonight off. And I'm going to donate to my own campaign. I'm going to donate $500 to my own campaign. I'm going to start it off like that. So the thing is if you want to make a donation to my campaign, let's go in here and get you the information. Let's make sure. No, we don't want a ticker. Let's stop that. Okay. We don't want a ticker. So now we're going to save it. You can donate through Cash App, Gerry Monroe for Texas. You can donate through Zelle, 832-933-3447. You can donate through PayPal, Gerry Monroe for Texas at gmail.com. Or you can go straight to my website, GerryMonroeForTexas.com. There's a donation button, and you can go in there and you can donate to the campaign. Now, there are some things that are near and dear to me as I'm getting out here in this campaign season that I want to talk about so that you can know where I stand on certain issues. All right. You can know where I stand on certain issues, and you can know how I'm going to attack the beast on certain issues. I will tell you this, that I'm not coming to you just to talk about the issues. I'm coming to you to tell you exactly what I would do to fix those issues. So no matter where we start, I can handle the conversation. So remember, if you want to donate, you're free to donate tonight. And hold on a second. Now I want to scroll this for sure. You're free to donate tonight. I need your help. You're not going to get the right people in office if you don't donate to the right campaigns. Every dollar that was donated to me during my school board run was spent on my campaigns. Nothing went into my pockets. That's not what it's for. That's your tax money. And campaign donations are tax deductible. So you can write this stuff off. So no matter what you choose to donate, it's totally up to you. Well, let's get this thing going, man. Of course, we have a lot of issues in the state of Texas as well as the country. So I'm going to just focus on the state of Texas. And violence is one of those issues. The reason that violence is at an all-time high in the state of Texas is whether people want to accept it or not. Our borders are wide open. On an average, you have hundreds of thousands of people that cross those borders weekly. These are not just school kids. These are not just family people. These are cartel members. These are people who are not being checked for viruses and different things like that. But from a violent standpoint, we are allowing too many people to come across our borders. So one of my first order of business is solidifying a plan, going around to every single community that I can go to, not just the one that I represent. And we have to come up with a viable solution to protect our borders. And that is something that is imperative with me, that it's no reason for me to try to get to Austin if I'm not going to protect those borders. Now, I don't have a problem with somebody coming to the United States of America as long as you come the right way, as long as you do it the right way. But to allow those borders to continue to stay open in the manner which they are in, no, I would actually file bills to do what needs to be done to protect those borders and close those borders. If you want to come to the U.S., you do it the right way. So that is something right there that without a shadow of a doubt, that we all have to look at and accept the fact that we've dropped the ball, not just in Texas, but across the country by allowing those borders to stay open. Now, for me, it's not a partisan issue. It's a protection issue. It's protecting the citizens of the great state of Texas. And therefore, I will do everything in my power to protect those borders and make sure that if somebody's coming to the U.S., they're coming for the right reasons. They're coming to be the right type of people that we want here. And those that are not here the right way, they need to go back wherever they came from. I don't want to spend another dollar of my tax money taking care of somebody who's not an American citizen. I believe that we need to take care of home first. And the best way to take care of home first is by protecting our borders. So in case you're just tuning in, we're doing a virtual fundraiser tonight. I started it off with a $500 donation to my own campaign because that's what needed to be done. You know, I donated to my own campaign, and I did this the last time I ran. So I started off with $500. If you want to donate, you can donate through Cash App, $ Gerry Monroe for Texas. Zelle, you can use 832-933-3447. PayPal, Gerry Monroe for Texas at gmail.com, or you can go straight to my website, Gerry Monroe for Texas. Push the donate button, and you can donate whatever you choose to donate. So protecting the borders is the first order of business. As a state rep, the Speaker of the House gets to assign state reps to different committees. I would pray that because of my expertise in education that, maybe he would assign me to the educational committee. Because education is not hard to fix. I believe that in my heart. I know what can be done. But I also know that we have to have a starting point in fixing education. And I believe that there's not enough funding coming from the state of Texas to take care of our school systems. Now, when you think about it, school systems should be nonpartisan. So I don't care about the Republican or Democrat thing. What I care about is that the school systems are not getting the funding that they rightfully deserve. There has been hundreds of millions of dollars cut on the educational side in the state of Texas in the last 10 years. No, we need to restore that funding. We need to restore that funding. And that funding needs to be restored not just to take care of regular ed students, but to also take care of special ed students. So it's no getting around the fact that we have to restore the funding in order to make our school system operate the right way. Now, there are some promises that I want to make sure that are kept that have never been kept when it pertains to education. The money that's going into the rainy day fund, that's coming from, the gambling aspect, from the lottery, from the scratch-offs, from all of that. Where is our money for education that should have been going to education? I am going to file bill after bill after bill to make sure that the funding from gambling, and that's what I call it, from the lottery goes to the educational component just like it was supposed to from day one. It's no getting around that. It's no getting around that at all. Now, what politician is running around right now screaming about school safety? As your state rep, I would be the only politician that has a written plan to deal with violence as well as gun violence as it pertains to our school systems. That's why I'm telling you it's not hard to fix. If you're just tuning in, we're doing a virtual fundraiser. You can donate to my campaign, $ Gerry Monroe for Texas at Cash App. If Zelle is your way of doing it, you can go 832-933-3447. You can donate through PayPal, Gerry Monroe for Texas at gmail.com. And also, you can go straight to the website, which is Gerry Monroe for Texas. Hit the donate button, and you can donate through there. I don't care what you send me. Whatever you send me is more than what I have. Now, we're going to have to raise some money, y'all, because the lady I'm fighting, she's funded by some very, very important people, important companies. She's getting money from everywhere. And if you don't have the money that is needed to fund your campaigns, then you cannot win. Rontrell, I'll get to that in a minute. Just give me time. So right now I'm speaking on the educational component. I want to ask you, and you tell me, and I'm glad you typing in things that you want to address, and we're going to address that. Do you feel that education can be better in the state of Texas? Now, in order to be a good politician, that means I have to listen to the community. So what I want you to tell me is, what do we need to do to fund education the right way? I have my ideologies, but I will also tell you, thank you, Barbara Johnson. She sent me a donation. I will also tell you that I'm one brain. So I'm going to lean on you because I need to know what you want. Let me tell you how you hold a politician accountable. See, we're going to sit here and we're going to tell you this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Okay, that is great. But unless you ask me to do something, unless you give me a mandate, I'm not obligated to do nothing for you. So tonight, I want to know. Like Ron Trail typed in, I hope you would look at different studies on the legalization of marijuana, medical and recreational. I'm going to address that. This is how you hold me accountable. So if I get your vote and I don't go in there and I address that, what Ron Trail brought up, the next time I run, he should not give me his vote. He needs to see the work that I told him that I was going to do. So now the question becomes, how do we fund education? Is there a way? Yes, there is a great way. And that way's been there since they started the lottery in the state of Texas. Where is our tax money from the lottery that was supposed to go into education, but yet it goes to the rainy day fund? Now, the rainy day fund in Texas, you know who controls that? The governor of the state of Texas. So there's a bill that needs to be filed that says he loses control of it. The money that's in the rainy day fund could set us up from an educational standpoint to where we would not have to worry about education for many, many years. Many years. Another way you can fix education in the state of Texas. I am running for state rep, House District 131. Another way that you can fix education, I want to file a bill that the educational commissioner, the commissioner of the Texas Education Agency, that position should not be an appointed position. See, the governor of Texas is cool with Mike Morath, so he appointed his friend. His friend has never been a principal in an elementary, middle, or high school. You feel what I'm saying? His friend has never been a principal in an elementary, middle, or high school. The position of the TEA commissioner, Texas Education Agency, should be an elected statewide position. So on my first day in office, I'm going to start doing what I need to do to get a bill filed to make that position an elected position and not an appointed position. That's what I would do. Because now the people will have a say in how education is ran in the state of Texas. And not just some tyrant who doesn't want to listen because he'll only listen to the governor. Because the governor appointed him and therefore the governor can remove him. So that is another bill that I would file. In regards to school safety, You want to fix school safety? You file a bill that requires these schools to get up to a certain level of safety standards. If they cannot get up to that level of safety standards, you start affecting their school district funding. If these kids, bro, hold on a second, y'all, because, okay, let me double check something. Okay, there we go. If these kids cannot go to school safe, if they cannot go to school safe, they can't learn. If a teacher doesn't feel safe, she can't teach. But the only thing people seem to respect in business is money. So there has to be some type of legislative change to where if we can't protect our teachers and our students and our administrators on our campuses in our school district, it should affect their funding for their school district. So either you're going to get this place safe or you are not going to get the money that you think that you deserve. That's all it boils down to. Because no one listening should worry about if their child is going to make it home on a daily basis. No one listening should have to worry about if their grandchild is going to make it home on a daily basis. Husbands and wives should not be in fear of their loved ones not coming home after the final bell of the school day. The only way you're going to get people to get things up to standards is you're going to have to start affecting their funding. And the thing about it, this bill will also incorporate making sure that we do yearly checks. They're going to have to be in compliance every single year as far as school safety goes. So if that means they need more officers, this is the reason we got to get our money from gambling. This is from the lotto. Because if they need more officers, they need to provide them. If they need more enrichment programs to help the kids from a mental aspect so that these campuses can be safe and teachers are not being attacked, students are not being attacked, they need to get it done. See, I'm not in the habit of just continuously talking about something. I'm not in that habit. I'm just telling you straight up that I am not in that habit. But what I am is a guy that's going to put it down right here. This is what we need to do. Let's get it done. So school safety would be the most imperative thing, when you think about what's going on nowadays. I would not wait if it hasn't been done because of school safety, that I would file a bill raising the age to purchase firearms, bullets, accessory from the age of 18 to the age of 21. If you can't buy a beer until you're 21 years of age, then you should not be able to possess a firearm in the state of Texas if you're not 21 years of age. I would file that bill. I would file that bill. I would not wait. I would not wait. I would not wait. That's exactly what I would do. I would file that bill because you need to be at least 21 years of age to possess any type of firearm in the state of Texas. That's what I believe, and I would file that bill. It's no getting around it. And the thing is I'm going to file so many bills. I'm going to get bills passed. You know why I'm going to get bills passed? Because I'm going to keep filing them. I'm going to file them and file them and file them and file them. On an average, I think I'll file about 100 bills every session. That's just how you get it done. Because if you file 100, you might get 5 of them passed. You see what I'm saying? You might get 5 of them passed. So that would be a bill, definitely. I also think that inside of that bill also, there needs to be something that deals with the red flags and the mental aspect of purchasing guns. So we would all have to get together sometime or another, and we could put it all in place together, come up with the ideas of how we would want to do that. There needs to be a waiting period when you purchase a gun. You feel what I'm saying? There needs to be a waiting period so that they can do a universal background check on you. That's what I would do. It is important for me that each one of you wake up every single day and that you die of old age. You should not die by gun violence. If you're just tuning in, I'm doing a virtual fundraiser tonight. Very first one. I don't care how much I raise, is more than what I got. We have to raise a lot of money. We're running against Alma Allen in House District 131. And the thing about that district is predominantly Democrat. So I'm going to treat it like it's like it's a battleground state. And I'm going to get out and I'm going to knock every single door. I'm going to have those conversations with Black, whites, Latinos, Asians, whomever. Because when you look at our district, nothing has been done. Nothing has been done. Now, in order to secure your vote, I can make you a deal. I can agree to do the hard work. I can agree to bust my behind, or I can go to the local HEB and get you a turkey, and then you can give me your vote. Because that's all Alma's bringing to the table. She's going to make sure you get your turkey, and then she's going to go to Austin and do nothing. She's going to go to Austin and do nothing. And she hasn't done anything. Give you a little history on 131. State Rep Ron Wilson was the guy. State Rep Ron Wilson was the guy that was in 131. And Dr. Allen came through and told the community that Ron had forgotten about the community. Well, for the last 10 years, Dr. Allen, you've forgotten about the community. You haven't done anything for the community. When you go to Austin, there's nothing that you can show us that has allowed our community to benefit from it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put BJ Johnson's questions up. Gary, without saying anything negative about your opponent, what qualifies you for being the best candidate for state representative race? I'm not going to say nothing negative about my opponent, but I am going to speak the truth about my district. And if that qualifies as being negative, then so be it. What qualifies me is the fact that my community has been forgotten about. And every single day I wake up and I go to work in my community, whether it's helping schools, whether it's helping seniors, no matter what it may be, I do the work in my community. What qualifies me the most is I have the ability to work both sides of the aisles. I have the ability to work both sides of the aisle. So that means my message resonates to Democrats. My message resonates to Republicans. And I have a skill set that can get people in one room that can make things happen for the betterment of the people. What qualifies me to be a state representative is I don't want to be a politician. I'm a public servant. I serve the public on a daily basis. And if I can go fight for my seniors to get lights in their park that they have not had since Harvey, and they've called the current state rep, nothing was done. They've called the current city council person, nothing was done. And what they could not do for 7 years, I did it in 48 hours. So no matter what the issue is, I don't know how to fail. Because if I fail, then I fail my constituents. I fail my community. I also have the ability to come up with viable plans to deal with the violence, not just in 131, but in Harris County in general. I'm one of the only people, it's 3 of us on our team, that actually have a written plan that can decrease gun violence, not just in Harris County, because what we have is a template. It can decrease gun violence no matter where you go. No other politician running for office, whether they're the incumbent or whether they're just a candidate, can say that they have a written plan that was endorsed by a gun violence commission. My plan was endorsed by the Gun Violence Commission that Turner put together after the kids were killed in Santa Fe at the high school. So just to have the ability to be a true problem solver is what I bring to the table. As I tell people on a daily, I don't see color, I don't see black, I don't see white. I don't care about political affiliations. I know that jobs need to be done. Kids need to be educated. Veterans need to be taken care of. Taxes need to be lowered. And we either are going to send somebody to Austin who's going to do the things that they said that they were going to do when they were campaigning, or we're going to keep sending the same people to Austin who never get nothing done, but they show up a day or two before Thanksgiving with that turkey to remind you you are important. What I want to do is be able to be a state representative, but still be able to have those everyday conversations with my constituents so that I can find out what's going on in our community, so I can help try to bridge gaps between state and local so that we can fix the streets in our community. See, when there's a problem, most politicians will say, well, it's something I don't deal with. Everything in District 131 will become my business. That means if the streets are raggedy, that becomes my business. That means if the crime is high, that becomes my business. That means if the schools are failing, that becomes my business. I meet the qualifications. And the thing is, if I don't meet them, who better than me? You see my work. You see me in the community on a daily basis. You guys hold on a second. So having someone who wants to do the job for the people, having someone who's an extension of BJ Johnson's voice. See, I only get to do what BJ you tell me to do. You have to know what you want done when you send me up there to Austin. Now, I have to complete the assignment. See, I'm not going to Austin for me. I'm going to Austin for y'all. I'm going to Austin to represent you. I'm a problem solver. I do that on a daily basis. And I think we have more than enough issues in the state of Texas that we can finally get a true problem solver in the building. One of the things that needs to be addressed, not just in 131, but in the state of Texas in general. But if you're just tuning in, we're doing a virtual fundraiser tonight for my state rep run. If you can donate whatever you can donate to Cash App, Gerry Monroe for Texas. You can donate to Zelle, 832-933-3447. You can donate PayPal, Gerry Monroe for Texas at gmail.com. Or you can go to my website, GerryMonroeForTexas.com, and push the donate button, and you can donate through that. There's a problem in the state of Texas, and it doesn't seem like it's of urgency. How do we solve homelessness in the state of Texas? Now, homelessness has gone through the roof since the pandemic happened. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people have not been able to get back on their feet. A lot of families have become homeless. So how do we solve the homelessness? There's funding that they give away on a daily, whether it's in the city, the county, or the state of Texas. We need to build real live communities that cater just to homeless families. Whoa, what you saying? There's a lot of land. The state of Texas has more land than anybody. You feel what I'm saying? The state of Texas has more land than anybody. Harris County has more. Harris County is actually bigger than 32 states in the United States of America. So we have more than enough land to create not low-income housing. They're homeless. Let's build housing just for the homeless so that they can have somewhere to be, so that they can possibly get back on their feet. Now, the one thing that I believe in is if they're homeless and we give them somewhere to be, you now have a place to live. In order to keep it, you're going to either have to go to school, you're going to have to get a job, you're going to have to do something. But there's no way that we will continue to spend tax-free, tax dollars for somebody that just does not want to do better. We're going to give you that bumper, that bumper zone, that cushion to help you get back on your feet. And I think that we can build this type of housing all over the state of Texas to where we can almost, to a point, wipe out homelessness in the state of Texas. If we get out of bed with these developers that are building these low-income tax credit housing units so that they can make money off of them and the politicians can make money off of it, and we just build housing that is strictly for the homeless, then we can solve a lot of the issues as it pertains to homelessness. Yes, we can. We can. Now, my good friend Rontrell Bradford asked me earlier about legalized gambling in the state of Texas since we already have the lotto. I never really understood why we allowed so much money to go to Oklahoma, why we allowed so much gambling money to go to the state of Louisiana, and Texas sitting between these states. And, because you got Texas, Louisiana, Arizona, Oklahoma. We're surrounded by legalized gambling. But yet we won't do it. Do we clearly understand how much money could be generated if we legalized gambling in the state of Texas? Do we realize how much money could go to help, our veterans or our homeless people if we had another way of money coming into the state of Texas? So do I not want gambling legalized? I don't gamble. I can tell you that. I don't gamble. I had a very bad experience back in 1995 at a casino. I lost $7,000 on a blackjack table, and I ain't never been back. And it wasn't $7,000 playing out through the night. It was $7,000 in one hand. Gambling wasn't for me. But I think there has to be safeguards put in place if you even think about gambling. We're going to have to make sure that we have a way of helping people who get addicted to it. See, there's good that comes from it. There's bad that comes from it. But this is a conversation about gambling that I would go all through my district and I would have with my people. If it's something they want me to battle for, then I battle for it. If they saying, don't worry about that, we don't want it, then that's the way it would be. Rontrell also had a very unique question, something that's been talked about all through the country. I hope you would look at different studies on the legalization of marijuana, medical and recreational. First of all, the laws, the laws needed to change in regards to misdemeanor marijuana offenses. But we're talking about legalizing marijuana, and I've said this on the show before, that I am not beyond legalizing marijuana for medical reasons, because then I know that doctors would control the distribution of it. But on the recreational side, This ain't the weed that we used to smoke back in the day. Let's be real with it, man. They got all kinds of stuff in that weed. And that would be a longer, more drawn out conversation for me, because I just don't trust the fact that they're just going to smoke weed that makes them hungry. They smoke weed nowadays that makes them take off all their clothes. It makes them become violent. Recreational wise, I don't agree with that. But I am for, legalizing marijuana for medical purposes. I'm definitely for that. No questions about it. Let's see. BJ said, I want to read that. And I'm going to go back to that, Rontrell, because it's not a real quick. BJ said, I appreciate your honesty, authenticity, and very professional answer. I'm in Fort Bend. However, we definitely need more public servants to make a difference in our differently abled, our seniors, and definitely our children. Thank you for caring about our children. That is your true passion. Thank you. Because, BJ is one of our most precious assets. She's a senior. And BJ is very, very informed. She's very, very informed. She stays on top of it. That I can tell you that. So it's an honor when my elders, and not that much my elders, she still look like she a cool 23 years old, that respects what I do. And I respect the fact that she's very opinionated and won't hesitate to tell me if I'm wrong about something. So thank you. But I would support legalizing marijuana for medical purposes, but recreational, there's a lot that would have to come into play with that. It's just not regular weed anymore. So for medical purposes, sure, man. Some people need that for their glaucoma. No questions. I would really, really love that. From a taxation standpoint, I believe taxes should be lowered. I believe that our taxes are too high. So I would definitely be in Austin fighting to lower our property taxes, because that's what needs to be done. And I would not just be fighting for 131. I would fight for BJ and be bugging, Ron Reynolds all the time to make sure that the people are taken care of in Fort Bend, and they're not being taxed out of everything that they've ever worked for. From a veteran standpoint, I believe the quality of life for veterans should increase. It should be better. If somebody laid their life on the line for this country, they shouldn't want for anything in life. They shouldn't have to fight for their Veterans Administration benefits. They should have it all laid out for them. And that's the way that I feel. So I would be filing bill after bill after bill after bill to make sure that we could get this done. You see what I'm saying? From an autism standpoint, for our special ed babies, I would like to file bills that no matter, this is a bill that I've been thinking about. You know how our special needs kids go through schools, and a lot of schools don't teach them anything. Schools don't teach them anything. No. We would attack the school district's funding. My bill would attack the school district's funding if they were not educating our special needs babies the same way they educate regular ed children. No, you're going to educate these kids just as well, too. Last night, we had Kathy Lynch Gunter on the show, who's running for HCC position 2 trustee. And she has a special needs child who just graduated from HCC. We have to take care of our special needs babies. It's no getting around it. It's no getting around it. Let's talk about some other bills. Another bill that I would love to file on the first day in office, that school board trustees get a stipend. You know how much and how long and how much work goes into being a school board trustee? And in the state of Texas, they don't pay them anything. That's why they have so much corruption going on. Hold on a second. I think school board trustees should get a stipend. But in order to get that stipend, they would not be able to take money from any vendors. I think you don't have a Rhonda Skilling Jones situation where trustees are taking money under the table, and if they get paid for what they do. Some trustees would care more if they got paid for what they do. So when I asked a state rep about this, they were like, well, how are we going to fund it? It goes right back to where's our lotto money? Where's our taxes from the lotto? There are ways we can fund whatever we want to fund. If we can spend $4 billion on a wall, then why can't we spend that type of money to fund the things that need to be funded? Rontrell say, how about looking into revamping of HOAs because they can't be sued, and they also are causing the elderly to lose their homes because they cannot afford the yearly fees. My brother, all you got to do is tell me what you want done. I'm not saying this just to say this. Those are things that when I went and before, while I'm campaigning, you make that list. This is what I want you to do. And when I get there, I am now charged with doing what you asked me to do. So if you're just tuning in, we're doing a virtual fundraiser. And tonight we're just trying to raise money for the campaign. Whatever I get is more than what I got. So if you want to donate to the campaign, I put in $500 off the gate. I can't ask you to donate to me if I don't donate to my own campaign. You're not going to see another candidate do what I'm doing right now. They're not going to engage you. They're not going to really ask you what you want done because they already have their agenda set. I know some things I want to do, but I can't do them without you. I can't win this race without you if you're not donating to the campaign. So if you want to donate, you can go to Cash App, $ Gerry Monroe for Texas. You can Zelle, 832-933-3447. You can go to PayPal. And that's Gerry Monroe for Texas at gmail.com. Or you can go straight to my website. And you can donate to my website, which is GerryMonroeForTexas.com. You can do that. However you want to do it. This is what needs to be done. So, of course, there are so many different things that we could do as a state rep. And I tell you this, no matter what the situation is, I will never run away from my job. I will never get on a plane. I will fight to the death on every bill that comes down the pike to make sure that you are represented. You will never look at Gerry Monroe as a state rep and scream taxation without representation. I will represent you from the first day that we show up for the legislative season to the last day of the legislative season and through whatever special sessions that we have. Now, I may not attend a lot of events to take a lot of pictures because that's not why you're sending me to Austin. You're sending me to Austin to do the work. I'm not going to Austin to get rich. I'm going to Austin to do the work. So if I walk out of Austin, if I lose or if I retire, if I don't want to do it anymore, with the same amount of money that I walked in with, but I leave my district in a better place, then that's the goal. I've accomplished the goal. So I need your help. I need you to stop doing what you're doing. I need you to donate whatever you can donate to help me get to Austin. I don't care what it is. You can donate $1. You can donate $500. You can donate whatever you want. You can donate $22 if that's what you choose to do. But the only way I'm going to get there is if you send me. That's the only way I'm going to get there. And for me to get there, I have to be able to campaign against my opponent, who is very well funded, has almost $250,000 in their campaign bank account. Gerry Monroe ain't got that. But I tell you what, we're going to get it. Now, the thing is I want to make sure, especially on the state level, that minority business owners are getting their fair share of state work. Yeah, it's business done on the state level too. And a lot of minority business owners are not getting their fair share of it. So guess what? We have to do that too. We have to take care of the minority business owners, the small business owners. You see what I'm saying? I want to deal directly with the prison system. What you talking about, Mr. Monroe? I want to, because all across the state of Texas, we are doing mass construction on freeways. You want to lower the recidivism rate for the prison system? Let them get out of jail and get a decent job. Those companies that are doing the construction on the roads and the freeways and the highways, they need to be inside the prison system, especially dealing with the guys that are about to parole. And let's see if we can get these guys trained up so when they get out of jail, they don't go back to the block. They don't go back to the corner. They go to that high-paying job. You want to lower the recidivism rate? What I want to do as a state rep, I want to deal with the juvenile justice system. I want us to revamp our whole juvenile justice system in the state of Texas. It has to be. There's no other way around it. So guess what? Unless you send some movers and shakers to Austin, Texas, we're not going to get nothing done. We're going to stay in beg mode. And some people really want you in beg mode. Not Gerry Monroe. I think if we get there, I'm not going to say if we get there, when we get there, we can get everything done that we want done, because now you will have somebody in office that has done the job. Do y'all really think these people show up in Austin and they do everything they can to help your community? Do you really need to figure out if I can do the job? I'm already doing the job. I'm a public servant on a daily basis. I'm going to be honest, and it's no knock to anybody that's out there, grassroots or whatever. Show me somebody that outwork me on a daily basis, whether they're a politician or not. Who? Who does it? Nobody. So imagine if you put me in a place where I could really make a difference. We could get it done. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We could get it done. It's totally up to you. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to hold you all night. I appreciate the people that have donated to the campaign. If you choose to donate, you can use those links that I showed you. Cash App, Gerry Monroe for Texas. You can Zelle me, 832-933-3447. You can PayPal me, Gerry Monroe for Texas at gmail.com. You want change in the state of Texas? I'm a change agent. If you want mediocrity, don't vote for me. But if you want a better standard of life, especially in District 131, then you know who you need to cast your vote for. And that's all it boils down to. I am not going to hold you. Thank you so much for donating to my campaign. I really, really appreciate it. You guys have a fabulous night. I got to get down because not only do I need to finish this, I got to get ready to fly in the morning. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow, broadcasting live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Good night.